Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. Today, a real treat for me. A comparison that I have longed to present for years. We have what I'm going to describe as sort of a pocket buyer's guide to the Bethune DBD or the DBD Digitale. We have the Rockstar original on the right, and I have to say that this model from this company with this dial and this case metal, that is my true grail watch. My price, no object. I win $1 billion. I buy that. I'm happy. Grail watch. Off to the left, we have the Modern Re-edition, which in fact is less common than the original. But I should mention, every version of the DBD ever made, if you were to gather them in one place, there would be 72 watches made between 2006 and 2023. With that said, let us meet the stars of our show, the original and the new generation. We'll talk about the original first because I think it's important to establish this watch if you're not familiar with it. The DBD Digitale, the DBD, was launched as a successor to the DBS. The DBS came out in 2005, and it pioneered this unique combination of a hinge lug and then a cabochon conventional lug junction. So this is very similar to the DB1, DB8, DB15 style early Bethune models. But then you get to the top, and you have a hinge lug, which is the beginning of Bethune experimenting with articulated lug designs. So the DBS was basically this case and this lug system, but with an open dial that included a moonphase, the barrel bridges, the escapement, and the balance. The DBD, which came the next year, is actually a tribute to various Cartier, Audemars Piguet, and Breguet wrist and pocket watches made in the 1920s and 30s, some of which featured this exact combination of a linear triple calendar, scrolling minutes, and jumping hours. You can actually read my article about the DBD and see some photos of those watches if you check out my DBD Evergreen review on quillandpad.com. But that's enough background on where this dial comes from and why it seems a little bit anachronistic. Specifically, this watch is the DBS and its tribute to pendant and pocket watches on the outside, and then the tribute to those unique jumping hour calendar watches from later on. So the timepiece is in white gold. 39 were made in the first generation from 2006. Of those, there were 22 made in rose gold, 17 with a silver dial in rose gold, and then there were 5 made with this anthracite colored dial in rose gold. Now the white gold models, the one you see here with the anthracite dial and the white gold case, this was made in 9 copies. The white gold case with the silver dial was made in 8. So all told, 39 of the original watches, all in precious metal, 4 different permutations. The watch features the triple calendar right there. It is a simple calendar, so 5 adjustments per year. We have Cotes De Geneve on the dial side. You've seen Cotes de Bethune on Bethune watches. Those are stripes that are mirrored from side to side, whereas here you can see that the shaded side is uniformly off to the right of the camera, and it's that way off to the right of each stripe all the way across, so one side does not mirror the other. We have a dial that is effectively part of the movement. If you look very closely, you can see the jewels that represent the pivot points for the discs themselves. So you've got the minutes, the hours, the triple calendar, which is American style, date, 8, month. And so this is actually part of the movement architecture too. In profile, pusher adjusters for the calendar system, but also for the caseback moonphase. So you have this beautiful blued titanium caseback, and so that's titanium that's fired blue. We have little gold leaf stars, including some constellations, and then a ball, a spherical moonphase, 1/2 blued steel, 1/2 white palladium, and it is a perpetual calendar style moonphase. This is protected by a patent, this system, the sphere. So like a perpetual calendar moon, once you set it, it does not need to be reset until 122 years later. And then we have a screw down crown with several different knurlings and drillings. It's primarily a screw down to protect it from contact with the hinged lug, not so much to make it highly water resistant. The watch and its modern equivalent are 30 meters, but we do have a screw down crown for security. You can also see the strap on this side fixed by screws, and then we have a simple pin buckle that is Bethune branded and, like the watch, white gold. You can see the quirky way this was done with hallmarking on the inner face of the buckle back then. So this is the DBD. It was originally stated as a 6-day power reserve, though based on the combination of the moonphase, the triple calendar, and the jump hour, I believe the correct power reserve rating for this would have been 4 days based on how this twin barrel movement grades out on other complicated de Bethune watches. Officially 6 days, though in fact I think 4 to 5 is probably the limit. It was the DB 2044, a 31 joule twin barrel movement with a 4 hertz beat rate, the triple parachute patented triple shock protection system. This would have featured the 2006 version of the de Bethune balance, which was basically a yoke, not a wheel, but a yoke with 2 platinum masses on each side of the yoke. The patented elements being the moon, the triple parachute shock protection, that unique self-adjusting twin barrel system where you can't accidentally overwind them even though it's a manual wind watch. And then you would have the moon, the twin barrels, the balance, triple parachute, and the final thing, the hairspring. The hairspring is a regular flat hairspring cut into 2 pieces. Those pieces are then shaped by hand and clamped back together so they will breathe concentrically like an overcoil, keeping excellent time in any physical orientation. Though you cannot see this 31 joule movement, it is beautifully decorated. You're going to get a sense in a moment of what it looks like because the modern version has a display case back. All right. So we talked about the 39 precious metal variants of that triple calendar jump hour moonphase from 2006. Now for 2023, de Bethune brought the DBD back in 2 variants. The first had a black DLC coated zirconium case and a burgundy dial that was a 13-piece limited edition known as the de Bethune DBD Season 2. It was the second collaboration designed with guidance from American recording artist and producer Kasim Dean, better known as Swizz Beatz. So the Swizz Beatz was a burgundy dial, a black zirconium case, and a 13-piece edition. At Dubai Watch Week that year, this was launched, the Evergreen. This is now grade 5 titanium, an Evergreen Cotes De Geneve dial, and a 20-piece edition. So add it all up, there are 39 of the original, and then we have 33 of the new model, so the reedition is actually scarcer than the original. The case is thinner too. Dimensions of both these watches, in 2 regards, they're exactly the same. They are 46.2 millimeters from lug to lug, and they are 42.6 from side to side. Now there is a difference, and it's an important one. This is going to be 14.8 millimeters thick, and this is 11. So that's very important from a cuff standpoint. If you want to wear this underneath a cuff, these 2 watches are very distinct in thickness and also in weight. Since this is mostly sapphire and titanium, it is feathery when it is on the wrist, whereas the original is actually quite beefy with its large and thick gold carapace. Taking a look, once again, we have a dial that is effectively part of the movement. You can see those set pivot jewels right there. It is again Cotes De Geneve, and you can actually see the difference now between Cotes De Geneve and Cotes De Bethune, because we have Cotes De Geneve with its uniform striping on the dial side, and then Cotes De Bethune on the back. We do away with the moonphase for a display case back. Now you could see here that the stripes, they actually mirror from side to side. So on this side, the stripes are darker off to their right side, and on this side, the stripes are darker off to their left side. So that abrasive wheel that lays down the stripes gets reversed to create these 2 halves that mirror each other. We have this beautiful polished steel cap, mirror finished over the base plate, and then you can see that the center spline that braces these 2 parts of the barrel bridge, but also the triple parachute shock protection, this has been micro beveled and mirror polished. So too have the steel springs for the triple parachute. They're mirror polished and beveled, but then they're fired to give them this lovely blue hue. We have a rounded and mirror finished balance bridge here. So this is the type of decoration, rounded and mirrored, that you expect on something like a Romain Gaultier or a Grubel 4C. And it is that level of decoration. You just might not have expected it from de Bethune. De Bethune finishing is as fine as any in the industry. We just tend to think of them as a styling and engineering house. They can finish too. You can see that the cap to the base plate features a lovely rounded bevel, and that because we have both a barrel bridge and a cosmetic cap to the barrel bridge, we have not 1 but 2 stacked anglage beveled bridges right there Take a look at the ratchet wheel too. The teeth are micro beveled. This is something you expect on the very best finished watches. Think Lang und Heine or Moritz Grossmann, that level. We have a balance that is now the 2016 version of de Bethune's ever-evolving balance design. I mentioned it was the 2006 yoke-style balance made of titanium and platinum on the original DBD. This is now a full ring of fired blue titanium with white gold masses. The reason for these ever-evolving balance wheels, to reduce the impact of temperature change on timing, to maximize the percentage of total mass in the rim, which has timing benefits, and then also at a very small level to reduce the impacts of aerodynamic friction on timing. Here you could see that hairspring curve, the patented hairspring curve that I spoke of earlier. You can see how you've got this irregular sort of terminal curve outboard and then a very set of concentric spirals inboard. Well, this is designed to be flat and shock resistant like a flat hairspring, but also develop and breathe concentrically to keep even time in any position like an overcoil. Triple parachute, I mentioned it with the other DBD, but here you can see it. 1, 2, 3 shock protection springs. Yes, so it won't break, but also for better timekeeping. It will keep the pivot of the balance staff from being displaced from its jewel cup by absorbing as much shock as possible outboard. And then finally, there's a silicone escape wheel that reduces the amount of friction, reduces the need for lubrication, reduces the oscillating mask. This also has the twin self-adjusting barrels, so you cannot overwind it by accident. De Bethune officially rates this as a 5-day power reserve, which is why I think this is a 4-day, not 6, because when you add the moonphase complication here, you're really slugging down quite a bit of energy each day with the jump of the hour 24 times a day, the calendar discs, 3 of them, once a day, and then the moon phase once a day. So I think this is 4, this is 5, because it doesn't have the moon phase. So that's how to understand their power reserves. Now that you've seen the two, and you know about every variant of this watch and how many were made, you can go out into the world and search for the DBD of your dreams. And if you're an auction house cataloger trying to figure out what this odd tombstone-shaped watch in your hand is, now you know. For everyone else who wants to live the dream, reach out to Team Mosso at the 1916company.com for purchase and pricing details